Hi, welcome to Part of My Frenchie. This is me, 143. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Pet Loss Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome, 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 welcome. How is everybody? It is Pet Loss Tuesday. If you are here, say hello in the chat. Say hello in the chat. I've got the dogs down here. I don't know why they're not up on the couch. So hello, hello, hello. Looks like my Brady just arrived home because my phone just went off. So say hello if you are new here. Welcome to Pet Loss Tuesday. We have moved an hour to 8 o'clock just due to my work schedule. So we've got some fun things going on today. We don't normally do fun things, but we got some different things going on today. Um, Decided to kind of jazz it up a little bit tonight with some um, different kind of things. Hey, Dave is here. Dave and Violet are here. Welcome, Dave and Violet. Hey, Adam. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. We had to. Uh, um, we did not have Frenchie Friday this past Friday, but we will have Frenchie Friday this coming up Friday. So look forward to that, and we'll be carrying on after that. Had a lot of overtime at work, so had to put everything kind of bit this past Friday, but we are back and again on Pet Loss Tuesday today. So if you're here, get settled in. If you're new here, welcome. Again, Pet Loss Tuesday today, where we talk about everything pet loss. If again you're new here, you are family. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. So get settled in. Put your name in the chat. If you lost anybody this week, very sorry if you've lost anybody within um, now the last 10 years, whenever pet loss grief never goes away, it is always something that is ongoing. If you are grieving, that means that you were blessed to have loved something deeply and more than yourself. So you were very, very blessed. So, hey, Patty's here. Hello, Patty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see Dave's got Violet, so Patty doesn't have anybody on her lap right now. So, which means you need a second dog, which means you need a second dog. So Patty needs a dog to have on her lap right now. I was blessed with brand new pajamas. So, yay for me. The co producer blessed me with new pajamas. I have another pair too. So, my wish came true. I was able to get brand new pajamas. I they, what do they say? If you build it, they will come. If you ask, they will bring them. So I asked for new pajamas and I was granted new pajamas. So yay for me and my um oh no. So Adam says that there's an old gentleman neighbor often see on walks in his golden. Oh no. You know, interestingly enough that you say that, there is a lady in our neighborhood, and I had seen her walking, I mean, for years and years, and she walked with her one dog, and I mean, I always saw her, and now probably the past year and a half, you just see her walking alone, and so you just know, hey Michelle, welcome, welcome, welcome. You just know that because over the years you saw that the dog getting older as well, but you just know that that poor dog just must have passed. And you just it's one of those things, right? When you constantly see people and their animals and just it's I don't know, they just become like part of your routine, their routine, um, but it's sad when you just then start seeing them uh, walking alone. So kind of the same thing when you see you know kind of the neighbor couples, right? And then all of a sudden you just see the one neighbor. So, hello, beautiful moderator. Welcome, 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 welcome. There you are. I thought you fell asleep on me. Now, I know that it's been challenging for you to, because the moderator has to work super early in the morning, um, as do I. We typically work super early in the morning. So Yes, but it's challenging because she has to go to bed quite early in the morning. But yes, we are back on Pet Loss Tuesday, and the rain finally stopped around here, but it got really humid today for some odd reason. We had decent, like, cool weather, and I thought for some reason that we were getting into sweater weather, which I'm looking forward to sweater weather because I love fall. I love everything Halloween. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, man, it got humid today, and it just didn't look like it was. It just did not look like it was gonna turn around into something. But I will say, I was talking to a coworker of mine. Yeah, right. Well, I thought, what is it? It must be over for you guys because I don't know. They were saying that it might get into like close to the 100. Oh, yeah, in the UK. Okay, that's what I was going to say, because like they were saying it might even get up to the hundreds in the next week or so. But typically in Ohio, like it will, gosh, maybe, I don't know, we get some, I always kind of say that, like, Ohio is kind of like the bipolar boyfriend where you never kind of know what you're going to get. Like you wake up and one day he's hot, one day he's cold, and you just never kind of know. So, yeah, I mean, we can go all the way into sometimes fall and get a real hot day, and then the next day it be real cold. And but last year, I mean, we got some pretty bad snow, and we hadn't had snow like that in a while, to the point where I've got two pretty decent SUVs. They're not like real heavy SUVs, but pretty decent size. And some of those were getting, stuck in the snow. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that feeling at all. And I don't think anybody does, to be, fully transparent. I don't know anybody that likes getting stuck in the snow. But yeah, I didn't like that, and I don't want to have a revisit of that again. So it looks like Miss Rosie's going to make an appearance. Come on, come, 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 come. They want to see you. Oh, come here. Oh, you're going to be stubborn. Come, 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 come. Rosie's coming up here. Well, she's going to try to. Are you going to come up here? Come, come. She does this. She's going to be, come here. Come here. Hello. So yeah. See, she's just going to like be far enough off screen not to say hello. But anyway, so yeah, I don't want to repeat of that kind of weather again ever. So hopefully that stays away from us for a good while. Where are you going? No, she's gonna knock my pillows off again. No, don't you dare. So yeah, no more flooding, please. Yeah, we don't need that. And then, gosh, those poor people in Nepal. I don't know if anybody saw that, but those poor people in Nepal with the avalanche, and oh God, love those people. I mean, that thing was just absolutely horrible. So I feel for people in situations like that. So, but yeah, so September is a good month. My son and I are headed on a cruise here soon, so there will be a week where there will not be, we won't have a Frenchy Friday because we will be on a boat in the ocean. So I know we will not be swimming with sharks on that one because then we'll just be in the Bahamas. What are you doing? She tries to dig through my couch for some reason. I don't know why you do that. Sit down. But I know. And then you look offended at me. You dig through my couch and then you look side-eyed at me like I did something to you. But Donna Jean from Indiana already put up her phone. Oh gosh. Oh, fall shower curtain thing. Oh, really? Really? I'll be darned. You think she's watching the show tonight? Really? Well, I hope so. Well, good. Then we got a new viewer tonight. I hope so. I hope she is watching tonight. Well, good. Well, then shout out to Donna from Indiana. Would that be Godmother Donna from Indiana putting up her fall shower curtain already? It's a little early. We're not technically into fall yet. Same. Okay. Well, good. So, but yeah, I'm all for fall, and of course the moderator already got me over to the Starbucks to get the pumpkin spice drink, which I'm not a big pumpkin spice person. I love everything pumpkin. But I'm not really too into the whole pumpkin spice game. It's okay. I don't love it. I love everything pumpkin pie, pumpkins. I'm getting ready to get my little grotto that I have in my yard that I have made for my memorial for my dogs. I decorate that all out with mums and pumpkins. And I will say, and it makes the co-producer go crazy every year. I overbuy. I love pumpkins. I love pumpkins. I buy way too many. I have pumpkins all over the house. I have all pumpkins all over the yard, and I put them all in my little grotto. I have pumpkins all over the place. Pumpkin is very good for the dogs. And that's what the moderator says. There's never too many. And every time I go out, I will bring home more pumpkins. And they're not small pumpkins; they're rather large pumpkins. And I put them all over the place. I love pumpkins, and so and then I get in trouble every time I come home with more pumpkins. So, anyways, but I love. It's I can do whatever I want. So, anyways, but yeah, it's again, according to the moderator, you can never have too many of that. So, yeah, and then like I said, we missed Frenchie Friday, so we got to get caught up on all of our fall gossip. We had our big losses that we had this past week, which were just horrible. I didn't even know Dolly Parton had cancer. That was kind of sad too. I didn't even realize that, although I don't think that they made that well known, that she was that sick, which is good, I guess. I mean, I think that that's good. Maybe she just wanted to keep that quiet. Oh, I didn't know that, Michelle. You said you've been to Nepal. I know, right? Tim Curry was an amazing actor. I know. I loved his stuff. Oh my goodness, such a talented actor. Right? So good. So good. Yeah, such a great actor. Yeah. I mean, we lost we lost some really, really good ones. I will say that we going into the we were at work today, we were talking about Christmas and all that, and we were having the discussion on if Die Hard was a Christmas movie, and I still say it is. I still think that you could label that as a Christmas movie. If you can label Home Alone as a Christmas movie, you can label Die Hard as a Christmas movie. And someone's like, oh no, Home Alone, they were leaving for Christmas and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, the Brady Bunch went to Hawaii. Does that, you can't say that, just because they went on vacation, it makes it a Christmas movie. So, but I still say, Die Hard can be labeled a Christmas movie. The one kid was saying, well, just because, I know, right? Right? I say the same thing, right, Adam? I say the same thing. you know? And he was saying just because it was a Christmas party doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie. And I said, no, no, no. So I said, no, when Hans Gruber falls off Nakatomi Plaza, that means it's Christmas time. So it's a Christmas movie. But anyways, it got me talking about there was a young lady there who this past week her family dog had passed, and I had sent her a message and just kind of sent her my condolences on the passing of her dog. And again, it's one dog household, which again is foreign to me because I have so many. And I was just sending her my condolences, and she had said how it's always I always find it interesting the response when you give your condolences to somebody when they have a pet passing, and you find out kind of who took the everybody takes the loss hard, but when you find out who took the loss like harder, which everybody takes it hard, of course, but like she said yeah, she said it was really tough. She said, but like my husband took it really tough, really, harder, a lot harder. And I really thought about that. And I was talking to another person and I said, yeah, I said, it's always interesting to me, cause there's, in families, that's just how it is. Sometimes, there's just different bonds and we know that we know that, sometimes our animals just have closer bonds with different people in the family. And it could be multiple people in the family. It could just be one person in the family. It could be a couple. It just somehow times how it is. It doesn't mean that the love is any different. It just could be the bond is different, right? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It just just interesting how that happens, and it kind of got me down the rabbit hole, which is what I kind of like on pet loss days, is because that's when you kind of learn about different things. Him and I started talking, and he had a loss a long time ago that I never really looked into too much. He's kind of like my dad. He's a hunter and so forth. And my dad is one that, growing up taught me a lot of appreciation for animals and a lot of love for animals. And again, he's a hunter, and he's always taught me appreciation for nature and animals, and the care for them and the love for them and so forth, and the beauty of them and nature. And so when I had asked him about, because I had remembered he was telling me about his dog that he had lost, but he never really told me about the loss. And so I had asked him about it. I said, yeah, I said, you never really told me about the one that you lost, because he had just adopted. And Anita, hey, or not, no, wait, hey, wait, oh no, hey, hi, oh no, oh my god, and you haven't been here in a while, Annette. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so glad that you stopped in tonight, though. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know your ferret has been sick. Oh no. Well, we will keep we will keep her in our prayers. Okay, yeah, definitely, but we'll definitely keep her in our prayers. But I'm so glad you stopped in tonight as well. Definitely. I'm so glad you stopped in tonight. But I asked, I said, yeah, I said, I never knew what had happened in that situation. And he's looked at me, he said, because I never told you. And I'm like, well, let you down. No, I said, but I said, oh, I said, well, yeah, like, he's like, yeah, he's like, she was only 3 years old. And I'm like, oh, and he's like, no, he said, because it was extremely painful. And I'm like, oh, and um, I, I said, oh, I said, I wasn't aware. And he's like, no, he said she had a very, rare disease and it caused her to go, paralyzed right away. And I looked at him, I said, well, kind of like, my one that had happened with my dachshund. And, he went into the story and it was almost identical to the one that I went through with my dachshund. And he said, yeah. And he, went through the story with me and, basically he went through the same kind of hell on earth that I went through with my dog. And I sat there and I thought for a minute, and he said, he's like, this is a story I don't talk about. I've never talked about. And he said, it hurt me deeply. And it got me thinking, like, we talk a lot about pet loss and, women and grief and so forth. And a lot of times we don't think about like men and the, like their side of pet loss and grief. And we often think like, oh yeah, they're, guys don't, they're not supposed to show emotion, right? They're not supposed to grieve. And a lot of times that's, that's not fair. I mean, granted, pet loss and grief right now is, it's disenfranchised grief for everybody, so kind of nobody gets a fair shake on it. It's, we're all kind of told to, hide your emotions, get back to work. It's just a dog, or just a cat or just a ferret, right? Get back to work. It's, it's not as important. But I think sometimes guys get the, shorter end of the stick because they're supposed to be guys. And I think that's wrong. Uh, uh, you know, and men have different other patterns too. They're more likely to internalize their grief. I think it's a lot of times the way that they were, probably raised. They don't show things like that. Women are more likely to express, grief socially and verbally. I mean, same thing with my very first guy that came to see me. He was a Navy SEAL. He was broken up over his cat. And he had a Navy SEAL that had seen hundreds of people, not hundreds, but lots of people be, killed in front of him. And here he was, falling apart over, the loss of his cat, his companion. So, anyways, it got me thinking, like, I think sometimes when it comes to pet loss and grief, guys get the short end of the stick. So, as I was sitting there, kind of like, talking to him, I was thinking, I'm like, well, let me kind of go down the rabbit hole a little bit more on this. So I kind of turned and I looked to, another person and I'm like, hey, I asked somebody else. I'm like, well, what? I'm like, you had a dog that, you had passed and, it was another gentleman. And he's like, yeah, but, I was a kid. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, no, I'm like, let me hear about that. And he's like, well, it was my mom's dog. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, I'm like, how old were you when that dog passed? And he said, I was 12. I said, okay. I said, he said, but he goes, it was my mom's dog. I said, okay. I said, well, do you remember when the dog died? I go, were you there? And he said, no. He said, but I remember when the dog passed. And he goes, I remember how broken my mom was. And he said, and that's the part that upset me the most. And the look on this kid's face, and I say kid because he's probably like under 30, in his 20s, but under 30. And like to look at somebody's face and like like he said, he told me, he's like, I don't think the dog liked me anyways. But the painful part for him was the pain that he had seen in the pain that his mom was feeling. So the pain of that loss was the pain that his mom was going through. And that to me was impactful, right? And especially being 12 years old, because let's face it, when you're an adolescent, boy or whatever, you got a lot going on, with regards to, being young and running around, but still remembering that and remembering how impactful that was. I mean, because you could tell that like he mentally went back to that moment of this time, and you could see in his face that he remembered how much that hurt his mom. And it wasn't just like he was like, yeah, that just, that really like broke my mom up. You could tell that he remembered how impactful that was to his mom. And I said, well, do you remember like how long it took her to get another dog? Or like, your second dog, the one that they have now? And he said 7 years. 7 years until they had gotten another dog. And I said, well, why was that? And he said, because the father and so forth. But anyways, but I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting in the sense that like he didn't necessarily feel the pain of the loss, but he felt the pain of his mother's loss. And I was like, that was kind of an interesting little like take on it, a spin of like grief through a male perspective, right? So anyways, so I thought we would do something kind of fun. So I thought we would do something a little fun. And I am going to make a call, and I want to get a live perspective from somebody that I know that does not know that I'm going to call. This is going to be first. So we're going to call this person, and we're going to ask them some live questions about a loss that they may have had in their past. So bear with me, because this is going to be a first on our Pardon My Frenchie. So let's see. So let me see if they're going to answer here. Put it on the speakerphone.
Sister, how you doing?
Hi. Can everybody hear this? Hang on.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Can everybody?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Can everybody online hear? Let's see. Make sure everybody. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear.
Online.
Online. You're live on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. Can everybody moderator give me a thumbs up if everybody can hear? Let me see. Let me make sure everybody can hear. All right. Talk again. Say something again.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Okay, they can hear you. Okay, so on the line right now is my brother. Is in Indiana. He's in Indiana, and so on live right now. Dave and Patty. Dave and Patty, and they have Violet.
Okay.
Yeah. So my brother is going to answer some questions today.
All right.
So you're gonna. So I want to know. Good. Patty says she can hear you very clear.
That's good. Mom can hear.
Good. So we want to know. So tonight we're talking about pet loss with regards to like the male side of grief. So
Sure.
So I want to know, what is your very first, when you think about your very first pet loss that hit you the hardest? Think about the first animal you thought that like hit you the hardest. Which one would you say it was?
Well, I think the one that hit the hardest was probably our first boxer, Buck.
Okay. And why do you think that was?
Well, because it was it was, I mean, we had the other dog, Niffer,
Yeah.
but he spent a lot of time sleeping in my room. So it was rough because he didn't know what was happening to his body.
Right.
You know, he was having the seizures.
Yeah.
And it was rough watching that because he would look at you like, what's going on? Because, you know, you're a family member that he trusts and loves. So you don't know how to, it's hard because dogs can't speak or talk. They can communicate with you, but it's hard trying to make a dog understand what's happening to him.
Exactly.
So it just breaks you down and you're just like, it's upsetting, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that was the thing too with him. He would get so excited and then he would pass out, and then it's like he would get up and be like,
Right.
Whoa, what happened? And
Right.
not realize it. And he was such a good damn dog. Oh, wait, hang on. There was technical error. Hang on. Oh, let's try that again.
Okay, I got you back.
All right, sorry. Yeah, and so he was such a good dog with regards to that. And now, were you home when we lost him, or were you at school? I don't remember.
I was actually home.
Okay.
And I think the hardest one is there was one of our aunts was there when he had actually had the seizure the one time and fell over.
Okay.
And what was hard was having another family member say, "Hey, he might just go now." It's like, you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But
especially because we were kids,
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the one that really hit me the hardest was because we've owned boxers, but the last one, we've got Max now, but before that we had a brindle named Riley.
Oh yeah.
About 6 years ago, and he had the same thing happen where he had seizures, but he was always a boxer, believe it or not, that would stay in the yard and wouldn't run off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last week before he had passed, he was running out in the middle of the woods. He would just take off, look at you, and take off. It's like he was trying to go off and not be around the family for us to see it. It was weird.
Right.
So.
And so did he pass out there, or did he pass at home?
No, he had a seizure on the last one. He had one while I was at work, and it was during the summer because our youngest Danica was home, and she called me at work and said he had a seizure, woke up, and then ran into the sliding glass door.
Oh shit!
Because he didn't realize it was there. So I came home, and he was laying there, and he was not very responsive. So I had to actually go and visit the vet.
Yeah.
And that was hard because I didn't want him to keep suffering like that. And actually, it was really quick and that was hard. Walking in there, this was around COVID.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh, well, we'll take him from here," and I'm like, "No, I'm going in with him."
Right.
I think that hit me the hardest because they were going to stop me from going in during this process.
Yeah. No. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, no. That would be like me dropping a family member off at the front door of the hospital saying, well, good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see you later.
Right.
That's not happening." So I basically gave them a look saying, "I'm coming in."
Right.
And they really looked at me and didn't dispute it. So I got to be with them, but it was hard walking back out of there, with a collar and driving home. So
that's the worst part. That's the worst part.
Oh yeah, it is. That is the absolute worst.
Yeah.
Because you can't, as much, it's a family member. You always want to make, sure they're okay, but there's nothing you could do. I mean, you got to be there for them is all you can do.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, I always say too is, at least they know that you're there until the end.
Yes. Yeah, there was no way I was just gonna, okay, I'm on my way out of here. I'm, bye bye.
Yeah.
That just, I don't care if it was COVID, whatnot, but
yeah.
So I was there the whole time. But that was probably the most difficult because I wasn't there for Buck. I was just at home, before that happened. So
yeah, I think I was gonna say I think mom
Yep.
took on Buck, and then no, you're the last boxer. Was that did they
Heidi was our first, then Riley was our second, and now we have Max.
Okay, Max. How old is Max?
Max is 6.
Okay, Max is young. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And we still have. I was gonna say we still have Lola. Lola's Lola's like she's our senior citizen, but
she was so good.
Oh yeah, she's she's our old lady, but yeah, and that's the thing. Like you said, it's when you get in that car and all you have is that collar.
Yep.
It's now. Dave? Did you find that? Who did you think? Were you the closest with Riley?
He was actually pretty close with us all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like our boy Max,
mm-hmm.
he loves everybody in the family, but he's a mama's boy.
Okay.
He's definitely a mama's boy.
Okay.
So Riley was kind of like everybody's boy, and but Max, yeah, he followed our current one. We don't have to put him on a leash in the yard. He stays in the yard. Believe it or not, a boxer doesn't run 3 counties over.
Oh, geez, so, yeah. Well, I've never had one of those. Well, except for Lola. Lola will stick around. Lola will stick around. I mean, she pretty much knows where her bread is buttered.
Oh yeah.
But
yes.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it doesn't ever make it any easier. That's for sure. It doesn't make it any easier, and you just it's one of those things where it's and you have to make that. Let me ask you this: have your other ones ever passed at home, or have you always had to take them to the vet?
We took them to the vet because we've had, like, our first one had the lung, like what Buck had,
mm-hmm.
and it just got to be the suffering was just I didn't want to see her suffer. I didn't, and with Riley, it was almost like a dementia running into things. I think he knew that's why he was running away.
Right.
Like he didn't want his family to see it. It was just very odd all of a sudden, and then so I just never wanted to see them suffer. I know some people might say, it's easier at home, but when your kids are younger, sometimes, well, everybody's different, and I'm not judging anybody, but it's, when you got kids that are younger, and it's really upsetting, so.
Well, it's but when you have to weigh too, if, like you said, I mean, because even on my last one with Harley, I mean, when he stopped eating for days and he had to take his meds, all I kept worrying about is him having an instant heart attack, in front of Brady. I mean, every day I feared that he was going to go into a heart attack in front of Brady. And, that to me, that would have been horrible, because I mean, Sammy had a heart attack in our basement, on the day that Brittany was supposed to, she was getting ready to walk out to a school dance. And it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And it's like, you can't take those images and those sounds away once they've happened. And as a parent, it's your job to, protect your family.
Absolutely.
So, and then you've got to weigh, like, okay, are your kids, are they going to be there for it? Are they not going to be there for it? There's all these things that you have to make that decision right then and there. So have you ever had the kids there for it?
No.
or no, well, I haven't either. And some people do. Some people choose to do that, and that's fine too if they're if their kids are mature enough for it.
I just it to me like on Riley, it's just they were still pretty young.
Sure.
So
sure. Yeah. Well, and I don't often want that to be the last that my kids see either. I want a good picture,
right.
when they pass. So, because it's you want the happy times. You don't want
the sad.
Right. Yeah, well,
remembering that you lost your dog this day or your pet that day.
Right, because that's what it is. It's like we focus on the last chapter instead of the whole book, and we want to focus on the whole beginning part of the book instead of the last in the last chapter, when that's what we can, I hate to say, carry for them, right? We can carry that last car ride.
Right.
Unfortunately, because that's what we do as parents. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's kind of, and that's the topic today is how different it is for between kind of what I was explaining earlier today too, is like the difference between how women and men are with regards to pet loss and grief. And often the way that women are, it's granted pet loss grief is like disenfranchised grief anyways, where it's kind of like, oh, it's just dog, it's just a cat, and you kind of have to hide it anyways. But it's different for guys in the sense of like you really can't show your emotions. And so
well, I'm also learning now that as you get older and you work with people that are older and you learn that their pets have passed away, I'm seeing more people as a supervisor, like in the guys that are in their 50s or 60s, that'll actually take a day off because they lost someone that a pet that been with them for 10, 15 years, and a lot of times their kids are grown and out of the house, and that's what they have with them, and it hits them harder as they get older.
Well, exactly. I mean, because then I've said it 100 times before. It's when you have these animals, it's this is their whole identity. This is our whole identity. We 24/7, 365. This is our our daily routine. This is what we wake up to. We build our vacations around, and every day when you wake up, you're like, okay, well, we're going to work, but we have to make sure we get home at a certain time to make sure they eat, and make sure they, our whole lives revolve around these creatures.
They go for that walk, or they go outside at a certain time. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
We're going on vacation. We got to figure out what we're doing with them, and it doesn't stop. It's constant, and when something goes wrong, we're responsible for them. Up until the very last day. And
absolutely,
even when it's not, even when it's not, just natural causes or whatever, we always feel like it's our fault for some reason, and it's not. It's just life.
Right.
And we beat ourselves up for some reason, and it's like, well, that's not the case. It's just the fact that it's life, life happening. So, which is sad, just absolutely sad. So. But yeah, it's definitely a, did you have any, now you had cats too. Was there any difference in the attachment between your cats and your dogs?
All your pets are part of the family.
100%.
Huh?
I said 100%.
So it's, the cats, they got more of a, I'd say, they got more, they're kind of set in their ways, where You know, if you walk through the door, they don't necessarily come running up to the door to say, "Hey, how you're doing." You get more of the, you know, they're laying in their special spot in the window. They're watching other stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, you're there for them when they want you. But with dogs, you know, they need more care and attention. And a cat, as long as they got some food in the bowl and you know, their own special place to go and
Right. Yeah.
hide.
Yeah.
You know, but don't get me wrong, they're still part of the family. But
yeah, they are.
your dogs need, in my opinion, your dogs need you more. They need that attachment.
I think so too.
If that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
a cat can lay in a room all day long in a window watching life go by. That I've learned from the cats we've had.
Right.
But you know, but after a while, when they want the attention, they'll start coming out to you when they want attention. Where a dog, they're happy to see you. They make you feel good when you walk through the door.
Right. They sit
Where
there
you
and
been
wait
all
for
day?
you.
You know, it could be 5 minutes. You know, go to the store and back, and you come home and it's, hey, where you been?
I know. Yeah, 2 minutes. You go to the bathroom, they come out and they're like, "Hey, where have you been? Why have you been gone so long?" Exactly. A cat's just like, "You here again? Are you still breathing in this room?"
Yeah. Well, I think like with the cats, like, you know, cats have that one human a lot of times.
That, you know what? That was definitely the cat I had. She liked one person in the house, and I think that was just me.
Yeah, that's for sure.
She's
talking about Midnight, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
She did. But you know, she was a good cat. She lived a long time, but she
she did.
She loved one person in the house, and it was me. And which I've got. Oops, jeez. I have her little picture right there. But she lived a long time, and she did.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she did. She liked one person, and that was fine. And I was fine with that because it was me. But other than that, but you had. How long did Snickers live? Snickers lived a long time.
God, she was like 14.
14,
maybe 15.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like, because both the girls, my older girls, they got to, you know, pretty much grow up with her.
Yeah.
So, but she was a pretty good cat. She was my cat for a long time, and then she kind of liked everybody though after that.
She was a very good cat. She's very pretty too. Very, very pretty tortoiseshell cat.
Yep, I brought her home from college.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dumpster cat, wasn't she? Like a dumpster.
No, she was living out in the woods.
Oh, woods. Okay.
Somebody's house, and
but she was a very good cat. So, but yeah, no. So well, good. I appreciate the insight on all this. Like I said, I appreciate it. I appreciate you being our guest caller tonight. And
well, this was fun. Thanks for calling, and I love you.
I love you too. Yeah, no,
tell my favorite niece I said hi. So
I will. Well, she could hear you. She's our moderator. She's a great moderator on the show. She's like a shark. She keeps everybody in line. Anybody.
She will always be my favorite niece. So
yeah, she just said hi, my favorite uncle. She says she loves you too. But yeah, she keeps everybody in line, and and if anybody puts anything, you know, semi risque on there, she deletes them right away. She's very, very, very good. So, but yeah, so thank you so much. And, you know, we'll have you back on the show again when we have other hot topics.
All right. Sounds great.
All
Thanks.
Right. Love you.
Right.
Bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Well, good. So that was some good insight from our see, and you know, what's interesting is I honestly, that was just kind of a fluke that I just thought about calling him. I've never heard those stories about his dogs. That's kind of a cool thing. When that's a kind of the cool thing about moderator. I do. Adam, I do dress up the dogs for Halloween, and they have witch costumes. um, last year, thank you. Last year, I had them all three dressed up as little witches, and they all sat at the door. Um, she did. Well, okay. So Adam, here's the problem. I just actually had one of them dressed up, or I tried to. You know what? Shut up, moderator. I just tried. Okay, here's my problem. All right, let me start over. I have probably 2 big bags full of clothes for these dogs, but the moderator will overfeed them. So now half of their clothes don't even fit right now. Half of their clothes don't even fit right now because the moderator. So no, yeah, okay. Halloween is not unique, but yeah. So the moderator has been overfeeding these dogs, and yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do. I like dressing up the dogs, but yes, they do have costumes. But last year, I had all 3 of them dressed in little witch costumes, and I had little spooky music playing. For when trick or treaters came to the door, they were all like. They were all at the door for when trick or treaters came, and I'm a lazy trick or treat person. So what I do is I dress my dogs up, and I have the door open, but I leave the candy on on the thing so I don't have to hand it out. So I let the trick or treaters take it out of the bowl, and then I just have my dogs looking cute there, behind the door. So, but yes, they do dress up. Although, because my moderator is making my dogs fat, half the clothes they don't fit in anymore. So I have to get. Oh yes, Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? I wouldn't doubt that, David, that your dog Young has put a dress on your whoopee dog. You know, but yes, they do have tons of different outfits, tons and tons of different outfits. But I have to get them bigger clothes now because my little dogs, especially the little potato, is getting quite round. But they have jackets, they have dresses. Um, yes, yeah. And I just got myself a bunch of different little fun Halloween costumes that I tried on before I got on the show. One of them, and it's this big inflatable costume, which I can't wear because I'm too short for it. So I found this other inflatable costume, and it's like you're riding a Frenchie thing. Anyways, but I love Halloween, so yes, they have tons of costumes at them, but I just have to get bigger sizes now because thanks to the moderator, my dogs are getting fat and they need bigger clothes. So I have to donate their wardrobe to some smaller dogs. And yes, but yeah. So the beauty, the beauty of loss is, or the interesting thing about pet loss is, um, you know, when it, as you know, when somebody tells you that maybe if their pet passes or whatever, ask them about it. Just ask them about it. You know what, David? You don't know that your pet. Did your dog tell you that they're not interested in clothes? I don't think so. You know why? Because your dog can't talk, and you don't know. Your dog does not know until you don't put clothes on them. Right? See? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Adam. I'm telling you what, maybe my Frenchie Friday, I'm gonna bring out my totes and we may just have a fashion show because I have so many freaking dog clothes. And they've got life jackets, they've got dog jackets and um, snow coats and all sorts of things. If I told you, Adam, that I have a problem, that is not an understatement. It is not an understatement, my friend. I have got some sort of serious problem buying dog clothes. Um, there was one day that Rosie and I won a Halloween costume contest because we went from the the movie Grease. I went as one of the pink ladies, and I dressed her up as a pink lady as well, and she was Frenchie. And right, it's a good problem. It is. I agree. I see you, Team Adam. Team Adam. It is a good problem. But yeah, we went as pink ladies, and she was Frenchie, and we were both dressed as like little 50s, and we won first place. Yes, we did. And yeah, so yeah, you know why? Because we're on the same wavelength. But yeah, she won I think like a $50-$60 gift card to PetSmart or something like that. But yeah, we looked adorable. And yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, they enjoy it. The only thing that they don't like wearing is hats. Well, I take that back. Coco loves wearing hats. Lola loves wearing hats. Rosie? No. Rosie will sit there and run and rip their hats off of their heads because she's jealous because of her little bat ears. And I buy her hats that have holes in them, so her little bat ears will fly out the holes. But she gets pissed and she'll run and pull their hats right off their heads. I know, but I buy her the hats where the little ears pop right out of the holes, so they're comfortable. She hates them. And Adam, I have matching hats. With Rosie, and they're little checkered hats and little cute hats. She won't wear them. And ungrateful dog. Buy matching hats with her, and she's ungrateful. But all this money, I know. That's what I'm saying. And Dave, the matching hats that I have with Rosie, they're like Stormy Chromers. Even more ungrateful. Stormy Chromers. So, yeah. Oh, we didn't light our candle. We didn't even light our candle. Let's light our candle. Right? She is. You know what? Hang on. Well, let me light this. Yeah, she is. She's right over here. She's laying on her steps. I'm laying. Yeah, she's right over here on the left hand side of the couch. She's over here like snoring away on me. Hang on. I was having trouble with this lighter today. Oh, here it is. I always feel like every time I light this, and then like YouTube will catch this, and it makes me look like I'm doing witchcraft on here. Like YouTube will catch me like lighting this and then capture something on here that makes me look like I'm doing witchcraft on this thing. Anyways, so yes. You know what? So we are lighting our candle today in honor of all of our pets that have passed, and God love the little ferret that is dying. God love that little ferret. Oh, I feel so bad. Oh, I hate that. Oh, well, you know, and it was so sad when we lost our little Herschel, that our guinea pig. Tell you what, there is nothing. Oh, that was so awful. So I can't imagine losing a ferret. If it's anything like losing a guinea pig, that was just horrible. Oh, yes, and Teddy too. Aw. Yeah, that was just. Adam, how is your mom doing? Is your mom doing good? Just checking. Is your mom doing good? Or doing okay after her loss? Okay, good. Good. Yeah, so we're lighting the candle in honor for everybody that is lost or in the process of losing someone that they loved. And we will be on for Frenchie Friday on Friday, and 8 o'clock. Yeah, Minka. I like that name too. Minka. Yes, and all of our loved ones. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to my wonderful brother who gave us wonderful stories and took the time to chime in today. He's absolutely fabulous. Thank you to my parents who put up with me, and the moderator, and Michelle, and Adam, and everybody who tunes in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I will see everybody on Friday, 8 p.m. I hope everybody has a great weekend, Labor Day weekend. It's nice and dark out right now. But other than that, have a good rest of your night. Love you all. And please take care. Be safe. Safe before Friday. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. Tell everybody to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see everybody on Friday. Take care. Good night. Bye. There's a lot of smoke. Make sure you go get matching dog clothes for all of your dogs, or cat clothes. Cat clothes are good too. Cat clothes, dog clothes, whatever kind of clothes you want. So take care. Oh, get Halloween costumes. Maybe we should do that. Go shopping for Halloween costumes. Oh, it's endless. See you guys later. Bye.